Good morning, fellow My name is Bonnie Nsambu. I am the current president of the Rotary Club of Kololo, Kampala for the year 2019-2020.
My name is Mukasa Sam Faru Kajubi, member of the Rotary Club of Kololo.
I'm glad to talk about our Lugo Adopt a Village project. Lugo is a village near Buwambo, somewhere near Matuga, here in central Uganda. It is a rural community which was identified by one of our members, Sam Faru Mukasa.
Having been the key coordinator for this grant, Lugo Adopt a Village, where we partnered our Rotary Club of Kololo with the District 988 in New Zealand, really led by Kandesi Bangura, a Rotarian who drove this project to get financing, $97,500 US.
It has gone a long way in transforming the lives of the people in Lugo. I remember we initially gave them about 20 in-calf heifers at the beginning, which have already given birth, and they are already passing on heifers to other people who didn't get. So far as we talk now, within 1 year of the project, more than 30 families have already benefited from heifers, skilling the young people in economic empowerment for the families, education, water and sanitation.
It involved distribution of mosquito nets, equipping the local school with textbooks, desks, 200 desks. We also provided the school with the 2 big tanks to alleviate their suffering for collection of water. We gave them a borehole.
Amanya Jita Christine, ekyalo Lugo, ekibiina bakiyita Lugo Farmers Association. Ekibiina kino kyatandika mu mwaka gwa 2016, naye nga omulamwa gw'ekibiina gwali nti okukulaakulanya omukyala oba abakyala. Ba Rotarians Kololo bwe bajja, twalina essanyu lingi okubaaniriza. Bajja n'emisomo, basooka kutusomesa, okututegeeza biki bye bagenda otuwa, okutuyigiriza engeri y'obikozesaamu nangeri ki gye tuyinza okubifunamu. Nga tusoma omusomo ogwasooka gwali gwa leadership oba ogw'obukulembeze. Batusomesa engeri ente gye zirabirirwamu, ne basomesa abawala abato abali ku kyala abazadde nga tebamazeeko kusoma, ne babasomesa ebyalaani, n'ekyalo ne bakiwa amazzi aga borehole, ne bakikolera enzizi ze basanze nga nnyonjo, ne bazongera ne baziyonja bulungi.
Nze Rosette Katende, nze nasooka kufuna ente mu kibiina kya kiraabu. Ono Gloria bunasooka kufuna Rute yasooka nfuna Gloria ono. Gloria yasooka kuzaala ennima eno Oluremba. Ndi musanyufu nnyo kubanga ente eno endabiridde Gloria eno yoraba kati emaze n'okuzaala omwana omulala. Kati eno bw'eba ekuze njuwa omukyala omulala nawe nayekulaakulana. Olusuku lwange Rotary Club buyampeereza ente ninfunamu obusa. Olusuku obutooke bwabadde buteekako ekiwagu kimu, naye kati byakomawo byono biraba. Amatooke tulya, tutema, tutunda.
Hassan Ruchams, the current head teacher of Sunset High School. Sunset High School is a school that is found in a rural area. Initially, we had so many challenges as a school. They brought us desks, they gave us sewing machines, they gave us textbooks, they gave us mosquito nets, which initially were a challenge to our school. We are very, very grateful to the Rotary Club of Kololo.
Amanya gange nze Nakabale Dick, ndi director w'ettendekero lino erya Lugo Vocational Training Institute erisangibwa mu Ggombolola Busukuma. Ettendekero lyaffe lino twalitandika kati lyakamala emyaka egiwerera ddala 6 nga litambula, naye wakati awo mu kutambula tubadde tutambulira mu bulumi nga tetulina bulungi bikozesebwa. Twali tuli awo kati nga tuli mu bulumi obw'ekitalo, tusomera mu bulumi obw'ekitalo. Rotary Club okuva e Kololo ne batuggukako ne batuyamba ku department yemu eya tailoring and fashion designing, ne batuwa ebyalaani. Okuva olwo iyo department yaterera ddala bulungi era yeeyongeramu amaanyi ga kitalo. Nebaza nnyo aba Rotary Club ey'e Kololo okututuukako. Batuwagidde nnyo era machines ze batuwa zikolera ddala bulungi omulimu gw'amaanyi.
Bana Rotary abakololo ne Rotary International tubeebaza olw'okutuwa ebintu eby'omuwendo bwe bityo, olw'okuba abagabi ate olw'okuba n'omutima omulungi eri bannayuganda.
Ceremony of the President of the Rotary Club of Kololo and the President of the Rotaract Club of Kololo. This is the first of many installations in this club, and I'd like to think the only one that we may ever have scientifically like this. But we're all happy to see you, and we are grateful for your participation. Those of you that are here with us, those of you that are joining us on the different social media platforms, thank you so much for your participation. I would like to start this installation ceremony. We shall have the norms of Rotary. We shall have the grace that will be conducted by past President Sam Zaramba, Dr. Zaramba. We shall also have the loyal toast that will be instructed by Major Donor Moses Nareva. We shall have the forward test that will be led by President Francesca of the Rotaract Club of Kololo. The goals of Rotaract will be read to us by past President Joan Nairuba, Rotaract Kololo. And then we shall have the object of Rotary that will be recited by Rotarian Bernard Mukasa. At this juncture, I'd like to invite all of you to stand up as we conduct the norms of Rotary. The grace, please.
The President, our guest of honor, District Governor, elect Rotarians, let us humble ourselves for the grace, for what we are going to have, and in particular, to witness the handover and installation of our President. We pray that Almighty God makes us truly thankful and ever mindful of the needs of others.
Our dear guest of honor, other distinguished guests, fellow Rotarians, fellow tractors, and our other visitors, ladies and gentlemen, hold your drink, and we toast His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda.
Good morning, everyone. Let us recite the forward test together. Of the things we think, say, or do, first, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? And fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you.
We can all take our seats now. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The goals of Rotaract. The first goal of Rotaract is to develop professional and leadership skills. The second goal of Rotaract is to emphasize respect for the rights of others and to promote ethical standards and the dignity of all useful occupations. The third goal of Rotaract is to provide opportunity for young people to address needs of the community and of our world. The fourth goal of Rotaract is to provide opportunity for working in cooperation with sponsoring Rotary clubs like our mother club. The fifth goal of Rotaract is to motivate young people for eventual membership into Rotary. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Allow me to remove my mask. The object of Rotary, why we're all Rotarians, it's right there if you would like to follow. The first is the development of acquaintance as an opportunity for service. The second is high ethical standards in business and professions, the recognition of the worthiness of all useful occupations and the dignifying of each Rotarian's occupation. as an opportunity to serve society. The third is the application of the ideal of service in each Rotarian's personal, business, and community life. And the fourth is the advancement of international understanding, goodwill, and peace through a world fellowship of business and professional persons united in the ideal of service. Thank you.
Thank you, Rotarian Bernard. Ladies and gentlemen, just want to welcome you to the installation function of the presidents of the Rotary and Rotaract clubs of Kololo. My name is Enoch Mukasa. I'm a Rotarian of Kololo. And I just want to ask those of you who I can see to wink at your neighbors. You know, I know you're socially distanced. Just wink at them. They can't see you smiling through the masks, but just wink at them and let them know that you're happy to be here. I'll go directly to the invitation of the president of the Rotaract Club of Kololo. This is the person that is handing over the instruments of power to come and make her remarks, and in which turn she will also introduce her successor, the president-elect of the Rotaract Club of Kololo. Please put your hands together for President Francesca.
Thank you very much, Enoch. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed. I could give a speech today about what kind of year I have had, my successes, my failures, but I will not. My speech today will be simple and it will be short, and it is simply a message of gratitude. I would like to say thank you to the members of Kololo who gave me the opportunity to lead, for always having my back and for respecting my choices even when they did not necessarily agree with them. I would also like to thank those individuals who loudly and quietly cheered me on, to those who listened when I needed an ear, and to those who spoke up when I needed to listen, to those who gave me room to fail safely and gave me an opportunity to right my wrongs. Thank you once again to Kololo for giving me a second home, and to Rotary for giving me a chance to serve. And above all, I would like to thank God for the gift of life, knowledge, and wisdom. And this is a promise to my successor, Sharon. I promise to be one or at any point in the coming year, all of the above, whenever you need. And at this point, I'd like to introduce my successor. She goes by the name Sharon Chirabona Chimera. She studied Bachelor of Laws at Makerere University, Kampala. She has a postgraduate diploma in legal practice from the Law Development Center, a postgraduate diploma in tax and revenue administration from East African School of Taxation. She joined the Rotary Club of Kololo in the year 2016, served as secretary in the following year, 2017-2018. She was awarded Rotaract of the Year at the Rotaract Uganda Awards for that same year, 2017-2018. She has served as our bulletin officer for the year 2018-2019, monitoring and evaluation officer for 2018-2019, and membership director as well as bulletin officer in my year of service. So as you can see, I am leaving the club in able hands. Introducing Sharon Chirabona Chimera, my successor. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, President Francesca. I have received a message from those participating on our online platforms that we did not cater for them when it came to the wink. So I'd like to encourage those on our social media platforms, please make use of the emojis. You can send an emoji, you know, a wink or a hi, and we shall be able to receive the same. At this point, I'd like to invite the president of the Rotary Club of Kololo, Boni Nsambu, to also make his remarks and also introduce to us the president-elect of the Rotary Club of Kololo. As he makes his way, I'd like to ask the PE who was just introduced, Sharon, please stand up and wave, just wave, because I think while the introduction was made, there was no real, okay, thank you.
Thank you, Master of Ceremony, Rotarian Enoch, our guest of honor,
our DG-elect, members of the Rotary Club of Kololo, members of the Rotary Club of Kololo, our AG, Herbert Mumuza, our incoming AG Sophie, Rotaractors, Rotarians, ladies and gentlemen. Allow me to welcome you to our 33rd installation ceremony for the Rotary Club of Kololo. A year ago, I was entrusted with the leadership of our club. My strategy for the year was member satisfaction and engagement. It's only through satisfied membership that you can deliver effective service. As I hand over office, I am glad to note that we have not only achieved our goal, but we have exceeded our expectations in many areas, and this is demonstrated by our achievements during this Rotary year. In service projects, the idea of service for Rotary is, service is the center of the object of Rotary. And we started the year with service by handing over heifers to women in Lugo Adopted Village project, which is a global grant that we have closed. We went ahead and completed the Imperial St. Stephen's Hospital Global Grant Project. We completed the Masaka VTT Global Grant Project, and we launched a new VTT, the North Higgins Maternal and Child Health Project, which is ongoing and almost 70% complete already. Our projects, big and small, have had a tremendous impact. With just 17 million, we saved the children of Chisaba Primary School from the menace of jiggers, dust, rain, and mud in classrooms, and their school experience will never be the same again. I hope we shall get more funds and complete the remaining work on that school. We have changed the destiny of 20 younger women in Nyachinengo who have acquired tailoring skills, and the training still continues. The women of Lugo who got heifers, each one of them has a story to tell. You remember that young man whom we have sent back to school, and we have turned around his destiny forever. We have caused positive, lasting change in the lives of people, and we can only continue to do good. Right now, we have 4 global grant projects lined up for implementation. We have the international partners. We have submitted applications for approval to the DDF. The projects are worth over $400,000. This is the biggest inventory of global grant projects we have ever had as a Kololo. And if all of them are approved, I can assure you all our 85 members are going to be more than busy this Rotary year, because each one of them will have a project to look after. Our membership has grown. We've planned a net increase in 2. We have had 5 members joining us. Of these, 4 are ladies and 1 gentleman. We have continued giving. The Rotary Foundation is the lifeblood of Rotary. Our target this Rotary year was to give $22,000. We have exceeded it by 159%, giving $35,000. We increased our number of major donors from 6 to 10. I think we have the largest number of major donors in the club in the country at the moment. We have been the #1 club in giving in the Rotary Foundation from the start of the Rotary year in July up to the end, and we carried the trophy. Thank you, members, for that feat. Not only that, we have done all other giving. All these projects we have been giving money. Our cancer run, ticket sale, we more than doubled it, and we participated. That is Kololo. Family of Rotary, we have had fun. We have bonded through our buddy groups and at our swallowships, where we have been overflowing in that room up to 10 p.m. and beyond. We have supported each other. Our home hospitalities have been wow. We have had the biggest turn-up at home hospitalities this Rotary year. And many people still remember the experience of that fun. Rotary is fun, Rotary is service. Our youth, the Rotary Club of Kololo and in Kozi, they are very vibrant and running very strong. We are working in partnership, we are supporting each other. In fact, all our flyers for this Rotary year have been designed by a Rotary actor from our Rotary Club at no cost. Joseph Mulindwa. Thank you very much from Rotary Kololo. All the photos at our event have been designed by, have been taken by a Rotary actor, Jacob. He's still there doing it, and he has been doing it free of charge at every fellowship. Rotary actor Jacob, thank you for service through your vacation. Our club administration has been superb. Members have been kept up to date. All the dues have been collected and paid by the members. We have had all the audits up to date. Our club, everything is ticked in as far as efficient administration is concerned. We introduced a new fellowship this Rotary year, which we called the Kololo Wellness Fellowship, which has added fun. In a partnership with the Nerves and Bones Rehabilitation Center, we have been coming here and doing a little bit different from the norm. And our wellness fellowships have been attracting the largest number of visitors to our club. Our PR has gone up. We now have people following our Facebook, our Twitter. They are updated every month. The website is up and running. And even our banners are all rebranded and up to the standard of RI branding. You know, I can go on and on, but in summary, I can say one thing. We have had a great year. We have performed well. Thank you to the board. Thank you to the members of the club. Thank you to the friends of Kololo for supporting us. But more so, thank you to A.G. Hubbard. Always there. He has visited us more than some of our members. He has done our fellowships. Thank you, A.G. Hubbard. Thanks to DJ Xavier. He has always been very encouraging. When you call him, he doesn't stop encouraging us. Thank you so much. And I want to request the guest of honor to hand over a few certificates of appreciation to the few members who are here as a symbol. I know the others will receive theirs at a later date. The PR team, if you have them, you can play them along the screen. But we are going to hand over a few for those who are present. Thank you very much. To President Christine, all I say is this. I think it's what you make it. As a president, you set the tone, and the rest of us follow. We follow the example you give us. And we are ready to follow your example next Rotary year. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, President Boni.
I'm told we shall do the recognitions later, so let's have it for now. Thank you.
Thank you, President Boni. Those of us that are here and are familiar with the Rotary tune, they are jolly good fellows. We're just going to appreciate the outgoing presidents with that small tune, and then we can move on with our program. So you'll join me in singing that tune for the outgoing presidents. They are jolly good fellows, they are jolly good fellows, they are jolly good fellows. And so say all of us, and so say all of us, and so say all of us. They are jolly good fellows, they are jolly good fellows, they are jolly good fellows. And no one can deny. Thank you so much, Presidents Boni and Francesca, for a wonderful term of service. And we wish you the very best in your retirement. We hope the COVID situation has not derailed your retirement plans. And we hope that you'll be doing very well supporting the presidents that are incoming the next Rotary year. At this point in time, I'm going to request the president of the Rotary Club of Kololo to introduce the outgoing assistant governor of our club.
Okay, I think first task was to introduce the PE, who really needs no introduction. She has been a long-serving member of this club. We were together in the Rotary Club of Kololo in the 90s, and she was helping us a lot with the D2 thing. We used to do a lot of projects in the dental area. She was then a dental surgeon. I think she was the most celebrated dental surgeon in Rotary at that time. Every club would come to Kololo to solicit for her services. And I'm sure she did not only serve, but I think she made a lot of friends all over. Because every Rotary club knows Dr. Christine. We used to call her Dr. Christine Narwada then. Then she became Dr. Christine Luutu. She's our incoming president-elect. She has served, our incoming president. She has served in almost all the avenues of service of our club. And she has been treasurer, she has been vice president, she has been PE, she has been club secretary. She has done it all. And I believe that taking on as president is just a smooth continuation of that service she has been doing. Please welcome our PE, our incoming president, current PE, Dr. Christine Narwada Luutu. Can you stand up for recognition? She's our incoming president. You are still a PE until the end of this month. A.G. Herbert, what can I say? I just have one word. The most loving, the most supportive, and the most committed A.G. I have seen in my Rotary life. A.G. Herbert Muhumuza, please come on and address us. He's a Rotarian from the Rotary Club of Kampala North.
Thank you very much, President Bonnie, and for those very kind words about me. All protocol is respectfully observed. Fellow Rotarians, this is yet another exciting moment when we witness the peaceful transition of leadership from one team to another, something that makes Rotary stand out as a distinguished and remarkable democratic organization. We are witnessing the end of a successful era of Rotary connecting the world and the beginning of a new one as Rotary opens opportunities. I would like to congratulate and thank Connecting President Bonnie for leading the club through an exciting year of service. I wish to thank the board and the entire membership of the Rotary Club of Kololo for supporting your president and for all the selfless humanitarian service you rendered throughout the year. Your combined effort has made the Rotary Club of Kololo shine and retain its position as one of the leading clubs in the district. On my part, I'm happy to have served and worked with you this year's Rotary journey. I reiterate my appreciation to Governor Xavier, who appointed me Assistant Governor and gave me Kololo as one of my clubs. I've enjoyed your fellowships and doing Rotary work together. I have witnessed the amazing work Rotary Kololo does. I have watched you with utmost appreciation and admiration as you engaged club projects and various club activities. I have watched you as you partner and promote youth activities. I have seen you increase your club's giving to the Rotary Foundation and observed with satisfaction as you fulfilled the Rotary annual goals. My most memorable Rotary moments with the club was the trip I took with you and Governor Xavier to Rukunjiri for the launching of the Global Grant for North Kigezi. I watched with awe the smiles and hope you put on the people's faces as you rendered this service. Finally, I wish to congratulate the incoming President, Christine Luutu, whom I have had the opportunity to work with, for embracing the honor and the privilege and responsibility as the 33rd President of this great club. Your election to the highest office of the club is an indication of the confidence the members have in you. The expectations of your presidency and your team is high in the Rotarians, and the Rotarians are anxious to see how you will steer the club even to a higher level. I wish you, the board, and the entire membership the very best in your Rotary year. It is now my singular pleasure and opportunity to introduce to you your incoming Assistant Governor. Your incoming Assistant Governor is Rotarian Sophie Wamoyerachi. She is a seasoned Rotarian, having been invited by Rotarian Florence Kanyike to the Rotary Club of Kasangati in November 2012. She served as director of various committees. She became president of the Rotary Club of Kasangati in the year 2016-2017. She's one of the country trainers, a faculty member of Rotary Leadership Institute, and a cadre member of Rotary Technical Advisors in the field of basic education and literacy. She has evaluated and done site visits and reviewed TRF global grants in the following countries: South Africa, Namibia, Malawi, India, Sierra Leone, and Kenya. Rotarian Sophie is a family person, and she's a mother of four young adults. She went to school, and she is indeed an educationist, well-grounded in international school education. She holds a Bachelor of Education from the University of Makerere and an Advanced Diploma in Education of the University of London, a Master of Education from Makerere University, and she's currently completing her PhD studies at the University of Makerere. She's an examiner of international schools, and she has got a vast experience in teaching, having taught schools in Uganda and Kenya. She is currently the head of secondary at the North Green School in Tinda, which is an international school. Sophie is passionate about learning new things and working with others. So, Rotarian Christine, you have got a good partner in service. She likes helping the needy, working with vulnerable groups, and serving Rotary. Her hobbies are traveling, writing poetry, especially listening to audio, Bible, gardening, and particularly vegetables, flowers. She also likes reading and watching humorous video clips. Sophie is a Paul Harris Fellow +6, and she continues to give Rotary. She was selected by District Governor-elect Rossetti to be your Assistant Governor for the year 2020-2021. Please welcome Rotarian Sophie.
Thank you very much for the kind words and the kind introduction. Good morning, fellow Rotarians, friends of Rotary, and distinguished guests. I'm pleased to celebrate the installation of your 33rd President, Christine Nalwada Luutu. To begin with, I'd like to congratulate Engineer Boni Nsambu, who has been your president, or who's still your president until July 1st, and the board and everything that you have done in this club. Congratulations upon taking the award of being the best club in the contribution of TRF. That was great. And I also would like to congratulate you upon all the projects that you've been doing. My gratitude goes to Assistant Governor Herbert Muhumza, who has furnished me with all the information about the club and about all the projects that you are doing. I'm pleased that he took time to explain and expound and give me a lot of detail about the club. Thanking the DGE for the appointment as the incoming Assistant Governor, I pledge to work well with you. I pledge to be with you, to listen, and to share ideas. I'm looking forward to taking part in the fun activities, as well as contributing what I can towards the participation of your in the projects. PE Christine, congratulations, and I look forward to working with you. And I want to say that as far as Christine is concerned, for the months that I've been working with her so far, I have found her to be conscientious, to be diligent, and someone who is open-minded. So you have in her a great president. Can we give her a loud hand clap? So I wish you all the best in the coming year as we embrace Rotary opportunities. Thank you. Before I go, I'd like to introduce DGE Rossetti to you. Rossetti Nabumba Nayenga is the Deputy Head of the Budget, Monitoring and Accountability Unit at the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development. She has a wealth of experience spanning over 20 years across government, private, and civil society. Within the Rotary fraternity, Rossetti has served in various capacities at the district and country level and was the recipient of the 2018 Women in Rotary Achievers Award. She is a Bequest Society Level 2 through a gift of real estate worth $25,000 to the Rotary Foundation. Allow a hand clap for that. Rossetti joined the Rotary Club of Mukono in 2005 and later served as president in 2008, 2009, and Uganda country chair in 2013, 2014. Rossetti serves on various boards, some of which are as the president of the African Evaluation Association in Ghana, member of the Advisory Council for the Center of Learning and Evaluation and Results of Anglophone Countries at Wits University in South Africa, chairperson of the Foundation for Human Rights Initiative, Uganda, board member, Bank of India, Uganda Limited. She is a member of the Global Working Group on Transformative Evaluations and Systems Thinking. Rossetti, who holds a Master of Science Agricultural Economics and a Bachelor of Science Agriculture from Makerere University, has business interests in real estate, agriculture, transport, hospitality, events management, and is engaged in private consultancy for governments, civil society, and the private sector. Rossetti lives happily with her family in Mukono district, where she serves as the head of laity at Mukono Cathedral. Rossetti loves traveling, novel reading, movie watching, and dancing. We have a gem for a DGA. Thank you.
Thank you so much, our incoming Assistant Governor, Rotarian Sophie. We are privileged to be having you in the next Rotary year as our Assistant Governor. Thank you, A.G. Herbert. As the president mentioned earlier, you visited us a lot more times than some elements in our club, but we are grateful for the guidance and support. Ladies and gentlemen, it is about the time that we are going to conduct the most important activity of this day, which will be the installation ceremony of the presidents of the Rotary and Rotary clubs of Kololo. At this point in time, I'd like to mention that for the next Rotary year, we are going to be uniquely blessed to have the district governor, the assistant governor, the president, and the president of our Rotary club as females. So I think coming out of the COVID experience, we need some nurturing, and I think it's a good idea that we all thought it important and relevant to have these people support our leadership this coming Rotary year. I'll invite the president of the Rotary Club of Kololo, the president of the Rotaract Club of Kololo, Yes, and I'm going to invite the district governor. Not yet. Okay, I'm just making a small consultation, but I'll invite both presidents, please, come forward. In the interest of time, I'm also going to invite the president-elect. Please be mindful of the social distancing. Maybe I'll have the president, Rotary Club of Kololo here, the president of the Rotary Club of Kololo that side, then your successors. Then I'm going to invite our guest of honor and our chief guest. Of course, the chief guest, being a member of the Rotary fraternity, will guide this particular activity of our program. District Governor-elect, you're welcome. There's going to be no time for that. There's going to be no time for that.
Where are they? My dear Rotary family, good afternoon. Can I have that script? Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here this afternoon. And at this point, we are going to do a function which is very important for Rotary in terms of governance management. And I'm so glad to see all these smart ladies, and I'm excited that this gentleman, thank you so much for doing so well, but now it's a ladies' time. And so we won't waste a lot of time because I can see the program is moving well and we are all aware of the restrictions of curfew. So did these members come with any family members, or the restrictions denied them the opportunity? They have proxies. Okay, they have proxies here. So they can stand at a distance so that they feel at least happy. So I would like also to invite the guest of honor to stand up and be near. The club would like you to be part of this function as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, I recognize all the leaders on the platform, and I will make my remarks a little bit later, but at the moment we'll concentrate on the purpose of why we are standing here. As you see, we are at the verge of changing leadership in Rotary, and this is a good thing because it always gives us new ideas, new blood, new energy, new passion. It does not mean that the people who are vacating the seats are worse or anything. They have taken us to a certain level, but we know we can even do much more by bringing more people and more hands on the job. So we'll start with the Rotaract, if they can step forward, the two. President Frank Kaganzi, thank you so much for the work you've done. You denied us the opportunity to hear exactly what it is you did by shortening that speech. That's fine. We shall find you and we shall come to visit you and say, what did you do? But all the same, thank you very much for the work you did. And at this point, I know that you know how this day would have gone. So I request that you give us this nice chain, presidential chain, so that we can do another service. Thank you so much for serving. And members, as you can see, Agenze, Naiwali. So she's still available. President Sharon, the Rotaract Club. No. Let them have them. Sorry, we were negotiating on masks. President-elect Shalom, you have been entrusted by your club as the best leader that they have for this time. And there's a lot expected from you. It's about starting from where the president has stopped, the connecting president, and you continue and innovate. So it's at this juncture, and I would like to do this together with the guest of honor, that we dress you up with a chain to show that you are now the leader of the time during 2021. Congratulations, Shalom. We have a president for Rotaract Club of Kololo. Very proud, very upstanding, and I'm sure that's how she will perform. Congratulations. Next, our presidents. If you can step forward, the outgoing. Bonnie, we are so grateful for the work you have just enumerated, the things that you've done, the awards that you got. Thank you so much for the great work you have done. But we know Kololo has always been a good club, and I know it will continue to be. We are grateful for that, and I know you will keep in the front with President Luutu when she comes on the seat. So at this juncture, willingly, I would like you to give up this chain, which looks very nice. And thank you very much for serving. We are most grateful. As you can see, the chain is here, all the power is here. If A.G. Herbert, you can come, I can even give it to you and you sit on it. But I want to invite you as well to come, and this time, because you have done so well, we want to make sure that we move power forward from your hands to the next person. So let's work together on this. Congratulations, and I don't know whether I brought the bells for these ladies. This is for who? Okay, this is the charter, and I would like the AGEO now to come, and we hand over the charter certificate. Please receive the charter certificate for this club and keep it well until 31st June, when you have to vacate and give it back to us. Thank you very much for accepting to serve, and wish you the best as well. Thank you. So our presidents are installed, and we congratulate you and wish you the best during the year. We are available to support you all the time. Thank you. Thank you very much, guest of honor. Okay, at this point, I've been given this moment also to continue and conclude my remarks. Thank you very much for inviting me to this joint installation. I feel honored that we have both Rotaract and Rotary in the same room, whether here or on the virtual platform. I know many people on the virtual platform would have been here, but because of COVID, we are unable to be all together. But I know the time will come when we shall rejoice, we shall be together again. Just to reflect on our vision statement, we always have to remember where it all starts from. Together, we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities and ourselves. That's our vision statement. And I thank Rotary Club of Kololo for having brought this vision into reality. Because sometimes we read these visions, but we don't actually show how we put it in practice. But today, we see that it says together. Together, we are Rotary and Rotaract in the same function. Together, you have enumerated, President Boni, how you harness the energy of young people to support the work of Rotary Club of Kololo. Thank you so much for that. And together, today, we have even partners from NSSF, and I'm sure on the platform there are others. So together, we are uniting to create lasting change. Thank you very much, all of you, for making sure that we actually realize the Rotary vision. I congratulate Rotary Club of Kololo again for the award, for making us proud. This is just not an award of being the best TRF giving club when you gave more than $28,000, if I got the numbers correctly. We thank you because it means you understand and seriously take the honors of trying to make sure that we have funds which can be used in our 6 areas of focus. And for those, we have to remind ourselves which are these 6 areas of focus: peace and conflict resolution, disease prevention and treatment, water, sanitation and hygiene, maternal and child health, basic education and literacy, economic and community empowerment, and environmental sustainability, which has also come up recently. So the idea is we should continuously reflect on these areas so that whatever programs we do, we make sure that we are in line with our focus areas. So in a special way, I'm turning to you, our guest of honor. I welcome you amidst us today. Thank you so much for putting aside a Saturday when you could be stretching, enjoying your family, and you are here. Thank you so much. And if you've not joined Rotary, and I'm sure you haven't, I want to invite you to join Rotary in whatever form it might be, because we have made it so flexible that you cannot even explain about time. We do it online, we do it any day you choose, we do it in shorts, we do it in trousers. So there's nothing which stops you at all. So let's continue. And Rotary Club of Kololo, since you brought him, I hope in the course of the year, we shall find him here as a member. I leave that to you as a challenge. Now, Mr. Biaruhanga, also Biarugaba. Yes, I also peeped at your CV and I followed you closely in media. And I saw you are a fitness person. You are an accomplished athlete. I would like to invite you, during 2021, we are going to do a fitness and nutrition program. We'd like to see all Ugandans, all Tanzanians becoming more healthier and well, because once you are well, your brain works very well. You'll wake up very early. You will, even if you are in a love environment, you love very well. Whatever you do, it will come out very well if you are healthy. And we want to reduce the budget Ugandans spend on health and reduce the number of people flocking into hospitals which are not well equipped. So we would like to do this through our clubs, but also to get out into the community. And for us, community means everybody who is, whether they're in the public sector, private sector, wherever they may be. We have nutritionists, we have people who like gym and all of that. We'd like to encourage you through this club also to do projects, but also focus on wellness. But we also like to invite you that on Rotary in general can partner with NSSF on fitness and nutrition, and we promote it in this country through your corporate social responsibility budget. So that is something for you to think about. To the outgoing presidents, thank you very much for the exemplary leadership, and we look forward to your support, to your members as we move forward. And to PEs, Christine and Shalom, we are ready to work. And I believe it's a few days from now, 10, 11 days, you start work, but we started long ago, I know. We have been preparing for 2 years, and all we are going to do is execute. I look forward to you doing the best you can. We are not looking for perfection. We are looking for what can you do and do it well. Whatever you choose to do it well. Don't choose so many things and you end up impressing us with so many goals, but you don't do anything. Do what you can do. Thank you very much, and members who are here, thank you for making time. I'm always available for support. I'll always support you, whichever way it is. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, District Governor-elect Rossetti, for that inspiring talk. I'm going to request, in the interest of time, the President of the Rotary Club of Kololo. You have been given the chain, but we are not sure if you accept it. Please come and give us your brief acceptance remarks. And in the spirit of comradeship, you will invite the President of the Rotary Club of Kololo to also come and tell us if she accepts her responsibility.
Thank you very much. Allow me to take off my mask for a very short time. All protocol observed. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to first thank my club for electing me to be your president, and I am honored and privileged to have been installed as the 30th president of the Rotary Club of Kololo. I'd like to also thank my past president, Francesca Kaganzi, for holding down the club the past Rotary year. It has not been easy, but it has been done. In the same spirit, I thank my mother club for always offering mentorship to us, even when we don't ask for it, offering physical and emotional support, as well as financial support. We are very grateful to have one of the most supporting Rotary clubs in the district that mothers its child and takes care of its child and nurtures it. The Rotary Club of Kololo this year is privileged to have a leader who is futuristic and a strategic thinker and one that values ideation. These qualities, matched with the qualities of each individual member of the Rotary Club of Kololo, are what is going to make us invisible this year. Our focus as a club this year mainly are three things. The first is the health of the club. We intend to have a healthy membership because without one, we cannot go on. A healthy membership is what executes projects. A healthy membership is that does the mobilization for the projects that we implement. And a healthy membership is the PR for the club. For example, when you look at me, how I carry myself, how I act professionally, you're looking at the Rotary Club of Kololo. Secondly, we intend to carry out 3 projects this year, one being an economic empowerment project in the Nagurugo Down area in 3 villages. Why the economic empowerment project is because of the prevailing coronavirus pandemic, most of the communities around us that we might not really pass by have been crippled by the pandemic. So as a Rotary Club of Kololo, we aim to resuscitate those economies and provide some relief to those economies and allow them to carry on. We'll also have an online project. They say a reasonable man is one that adapts to the prevailing circumstances. Our new normal is that we are doing the digital platforms, we are doing online campaigns, and that is what the Rotary Club of Kololo is going to do in the coming year. Lastly, we'll have a joint project with our mother club. We aim to strengthen and cement this relationship that we already enjoy with the Rotary Club of Kololo, and this will be one of the ways of furthering that relationship. Our other focus will be fitness and nutrition. Those who know me, see my social media, you see that very early in the morning at about 6, I'm already up and running. And I also like very healthy and good food. So the Rotary Club of Kololo in its work plan has over 8 activities geared at promoting fitness and nutrition. And throughout the year, we engage in various activities that our mother club conducts in furthering this goal. This year is about opening opportunities. And I'd like to tell you that merely an invitation to Rotary or Rotaract has already opened doors and opportunities for you. So for those that have not yet joined Rotary and Rotaract, I implore you to join us. And those who are in Rotary and Rotaract, I beg you to make use of the opportunities that Rotary presents to you and further yourself and also to advance your goals. I'd like to thank, in a special way, the guest of honor and the chief guest for taking off time off your very busy schedules to be able to celebrate with us. We are very grateful and will forever be indebted to you. And with these very few remarks, I accept the responsibilities and obligations that come with being the president of the Rotary Club of Kololo and being in the Rotary fraternity in this position. And I look forward to opening opportunities for our members, for the communities we live in, and for myself. Thank you all for joining us for these celebrations. Those at home, those in their cars, those on the move, those on the social media platforms, we are very grateful to celebrate with you today, and I hope that we continue this in the next Rotary year. Thank you very much. Before I go to my seat, I'd like to invite the President-elect, now President, Christine Luutu of Mother Club, to come and give you her brief remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Our dear district governor, our guest of honor, our assistant governors, my auntie, all protocol observed. You are all very, very welcome to our function at this day when we yet see change of power in our club. I first bring you greetings from my family, from my children who are not here, and the rest of the family, but I'm sure they are watching us. I want to thank Rotarian past Assistant Governor Frederick Mobiru, also a former Rotaractor of Kololo Rotaract Club, who invited me to join Kololo Rotary Club 16 years ago. Rotarian Fred, thank you very, very much. I also want to thank the Rotarians of my club for entrusting me to become the 33rd president of this club. It is a big task to lead leaders, but one of the Rotary objectives is to build leadership skills. So I'm in class and I've started, and I'm sure I'll learn and be able to lead the Might Club of Kololo. IPP Boni plus your board, thank you for the excellent leadership and achievements that we have gained as a club during this Rotary year. You've really set the bar high, but I can promise that with your support, because you are now the immediate past president, so you are still on our board. So together, I'm sure we shall work to make Kololo shine more and more. And I pledge to build on the success your board has made to our club, so that we continue to serve our communities. For example, together with my board, we will complete those projects that are still ongoing, such as Kisabwa Primary School. I know we've done some work at Kisabwa Primary School, but we shall continue and complete the rest of the phase that we have not yet done. We shall continue to complete the project at Rushoka Maternity Center by equipping that health facility, and also continue with the remaining activities of North Chigezi project in Rukunjiri. Not to mention that we shall start new projects, as the immediate past president elaborated about the pending projects that we've already planned to start on. In this year, just like our district governor mentioned, we have a program of fitness and nutrition, which we are going to focus on. DG, in our club, we already have wellness fellowships, and we hope to build on those fellowships to ensure that this program is taken up by the members and becomes very successful. And for that, I would like to thank Rotarian Evans for accepting to lead us in this program. Like you have seen, that we decided to start together with the Rotractors, and that is why we agreed that we should have a joint installation, because they are our pillars. And even this year, the president, Rotary International, really wants us to work very closely with the young people. So President Sharon, we are going to work together. We've already mapped out a joint project that we are going to carry out with our Rotaract Club, and this will be in Busia, in eastern Uganda. Last Tuesday, we were privileged to have District Governor Xavier Sentamu speak to us. And what I picked from his speech was that as a leader, you must be yourself. And secondly, you must listen. So the Rotarians of Kololo, as I take up the leadership of this club, I do accept the leadership, and I will continue to be myself, and I will listen as Rotary opens opportunities. At this juncture, allow me quickly introduce some of the members on our board, on the new board. So these are the members I'm going to work with on the new board. The vice president in this coming Rotary year is Rotarian Moses MD Turiatemba. The president-elect is here, and I would like him to stand up for recognition. He's Rotarian MD Moses Nareva. The secretary is Rotarian Dominic Tumwesije. The treasurer is Rotarian Alan Chiyinji, and he's going to be assisted by Rotarian Enoch Mukasa. Rotarian Enoch is around. The immediate past president is Rotarian Boni Nsambu. Our attendance officer is Rotarian Hilda Bakoja. The Rotarian in charge of family of Rotary is Rotarian Winnie Kaye, assisted by Rotarian Mariana. The Rotarian in charge of club service is Rotarian Bernard Mukasa, who has also been the chair of the installation committee. Thank you so much, Bernard. And Bernard will be assisted by Rotarian Herbert Byabagambi. The Rotarian in charge of our projects is Rotarian Alex Mokwezi. Rotarian in charge of Rotary Foundation is Rotarian James Biekwaso. Rotarian in charge of membership is Patrick Nasinyama. Our PRA is Rotarian Linda Chamber. Rotarian in charge of youth is Rotarian Odion Tumwesije. Odion Tumwebaza. Our sergeant will be Rotarian Robert Kwesiga. Our fundraising officer will be Rotarian Abaine, assisted by our PP Zaramba Samuel. Our bulletin officer will be Joel Muyinda, and the Rotarian in charge of district projects is going to be Rotarian past Assistant Governor Frederick Mobiru. And the Rotarian in charge of our global grants, proposals and incubation is Rotarian Patrick Semogerere. Those are the members that we are going to work with. I thank you.
Thank you, PA Christine. I would like to invite Rotarian Bernard Mukasa to introduce our guest of honor, who will then make his remarks. And we shall move on to the another exciting bit of the activity, which is devouring something there in the middle of the broom as we look to conclude this function.
Thank you, Enoch. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest of honor this evening boasts a very rich CV. I've seen a point at which I interacted with him, which was very interesting in my early legal life. Our guest of honor is the Managing Director, stroke Chief Executive Officer of the country's National Social Security Fund, which is a fund that is semi-autonomous, a provident fund boasting over 2 billion in assets. 3 billion in assets. I know some people have been asking recently, and it's dollars recently, whether they can get some of it, but that's not the forum for this. Our guest of honor was appointed to that position in August 2010. Before joining NSSF, he was managing director at Nile Bank and Global Trust Bank. In 2007, he was the chief operating officer at Barclays Bank, which he joined after the acquisition of Nile Bank by Barclays Bank Uganda. He has a wealth of experience spanning over 3 decades in stewardship of large financial portfolios of international repute. He's at the tender age of 59. He started his professional career in 1983 at Standard Chartered Bank as a teller, rising through the ranks to executive director finance in 1992. So there is hope for the young Rotaractors. That was a short time. In 1994, he moved to the London office as the finance manager in charge of the African region, where he successfully implemented a multi-million British pound accounting software for the bank's financial operations in Africa. He is well educated with a Bachelor of Science degree in Statistics and Economics from Makerere University, a qualified ACCA fellow. He holds an MBA from the Edinburgh Business School, Heriot-Watt University, Scotland, and a management diploma from the Henley Management College in the UK. He serves on many boards: Uganda Clays, Uganda Stock Exchange. Previously, he has served on the boards of Standard Chartered Bank, Global Trust Bank, Nile Bank, Uganda Institute of Bankers and Financial Services. He has also served as board chairman for Vodafone Uganda, Nakasero Hospital Limited, which is where I met him early in my legal career. I was thrown into the deep end to make a presentation to the Nakasero Hospital board. And it was a baptism of fire from our guest of honor this evening. But there were very many lessons learned, and today I'm here, as you can see. He has served as board chairman of several charitable organizations: Hospice Africa Uganda, Kulika Uganda, and Palliative Care Association of Uganda. So you can see he's a fit and prime definition of what a Rotarian should be and should indeed consider joining us. Our guest of honor is married with 2 daughters. He's an avid sports fan, an accomplished athlete. He supports Arsenal like me and very many others who are wise. And is one of the few Ugandans to complete a 42-kilometer marathon in Kampala, Nairobi, and London. So as the DGE said, he's again fit and primed to be a Rotarian because of the program of fitness which we are starting in the next Rotary year. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for our guest of honor this evening, Mr. Richard Patrick Biarugaba.
So we got to clean this all up. It's really weird, huh? Not used to it. I have a presentation to make. So how do I move it? So you'll move it for me? Is somebody going to move it for me? Okay, great. So you guys have lots of protocol, and it's one of my worst things. I don't really like protocol. But I asked for it, so it was written, so I'll read it, if you permit me. The chief guest, the district governor-elect, the incoming presidents, the 2 we've just seen being installed, the fraternity of the Rotary, guests, ladies and gentlemen, and I assume since this is online, the guys who are watching us online. I was asked to talk about, can we as Uganda grow the job market? I don't know why that topic was given to me, but I believe that COVID is one of the game changers of our life. Certainly, I don't think any of us have ever experienced this sort of thing. But specifically, the main thing it has affected is obviously the whole area around work, the whole area around jobs. I know if you think about it, there's been so many coincidences created out of this situation. The fact that loads of us were used to leaving our homes and coming to work in an environment of an office, and then spending 8 hours and then going back to our places. And then, life was going on quite smoothly. And suddenly, we've gone through a period, depending on where you live in the world, where 2 or 3 months, even sometimes maybe 4 months, we aren't getting used to that routine. That routine is not available, and yet we still need to live, we still need to eat, we still need to have our clothes on, we still need to exercise, we still need to do all the things that are meant to be done, and yet what sustains us is an income which is created out of our sweat and our work. So, by some sort of coincidence, this whole pandemic has brought into sharp contrast the whole issue around work. So when I was asked to talk about jobs, and I know that our economy is suffering, and I see the numbers, because as a pension fund, we cater for almost 2 million Ugandans who save regularly out of their salaries. And today I can tell you that there is almost about 100,000 individuals who a few months ago were contributing and today are not, because their companies are either going through distress or they are shut completely and they've actually been laid off. So it is very real. Now, if you heard about my background, I did maths actually at university. I know it's not mentioned a lot, and I really love numbers, but I did a lot of statistics, so I like to share numbers. So the first number I'd like to share, if you're looking at the slides, is that only 2 out of 10 people in Africa will have a pension. Now I know I'm talking about work. What's that got to do with pension? We build our pension out of our work and our salaries. So that's why I'll continue to refer to the industry that I'm very well aware of. So unfortunately, only 2 Africans, and these are numbers not only covering Uganda but the whole of Africa, will have a safety net when they retire. And that tells quite a lot. The next slide is the 20%, which my introducer alluded to, and which I'm sure all of you, if you've been following the media, both the formal and the social one, you will have seen a huge agitation as a remedy for during this period, where a lot of our members, or even not our members, I think it was largely started by the politicians, and I suspect that the politicians might have done it for political purposes, not for caring about the people, but that's a story for another day. Anyway, there were loads of agitation for the 20%. Now, if we had approved that payout, sadly, only 5%, no, you don't have, stay back on that. Only 5% of Uganda's labor population would have benefited. And Uganda's labor population is about 18 million. So that again tells you something. it tells you that it would not have been a help for very many people. Yes, there would have been a few people who would have benefited from the 20%. Yes, it would have helped them for a couple of weeks to buy a couple of groceries and things like that would have wanted to. But largely the population of Uganda wouldn't have benefited. And that comes back to the fact that, unfortunately, not many of us do actually have a job. So let's look about some of the more interesting things that I know hopefully I've depressed you enough to tell you what's happening with your own situation. So let's be a little bit positive. And just finish off that slide. Just go to the end of that. So, no, just, sorry. I wish I was running it myself. So, that graph may be not very clear for you, but that's the graph of the growth of mobile subscribers over the last 10 years. I'm sure some of you have seen this, and some of you might not have seen it. The numbers you see there are percentages. So if you look at the year 2007, which is when that graph starts, 14% of Uganda's population had a mobile phone of sorts. By the time these numbers were taken, we had reached a height of 60% in 2017, and the number dipped slightly to 57% in the year 2018. I don't have the numbers for 19 and this year, but I think they are upwards. But look at the growth of the mobile phone. It shows you that between that period, there was a growth of over 3 times, from 14 to 57%. I have been in, you've had my CV. 2 of the 3 decades I've been working, I spent them in banking. And one of the worst experiences for me as a banker was the fact that we would never grow our market. For a long time, and I see somebody from the central bank, the number was 1.5 million Ugandans have bank accounts. And that number was there for a very, very long time. As soon as the mobile phone came, the financial inclusion, which is the number to show how many people get involved in the financial markets, grew from 38% to 58%. Now you can see that there is a very close relationship between the number of mobile phones that we have and the fact that we now go and use financial services. So that, to me, appears to be a very good lesson for all of us who are trying to create work. Because you know how much work has been created, not only within the financial services sector, but also within the mobile phone sector. So much work. So let's go to the next slide. So why am I talking about this and roll it all out? It's what I've just said. The mobile phone is responsible or has become responsible for financial inclusion, because if the mobile phone has almost got 60% of people who are now able to access it, and now we have more people accessing financial services, it's quite clear that there is a direct relationship between what's happened with the mobile phone and how we can basically increase work for people elsewhere in all other sectors. So the question I have gotten there is, why haven't the pensions, which are still a very small percentage, why haven't they grown as quickly as I thought? In other words, if pensions haven't grown, that's because work hasn't grown as much as possible. So let's try and look at a little bit more examples. And again, roll all that slide. If you look on the right-hand side of that slide, you'll see a couple of pretty graphs. The first graph is the yellow one, depending on if you can see it. Anyway, it's yellowish. The other graph is greenish and the other one is blue. So let's look at the yellow graph. Or maybe let's start with the green graph. The green graph, and by the way, these numbers belong to India, okay? So I needed to show you something that if you're looking at the rest of the world, I mean, if you're looking at Uganda, you need to look at what's happening in the rest of the world. Because in terms of development, Uganda tends to lag behind the rest of the world. So these are a very good example of what's happened in India, and I think it's happened in much of the world, certainly within the recent past. So let's look at the green graph. The green graph starts off in the 50s at around 56%. And that shows you that when economies are still undeveloped, there is still a lot of agriculture that's being done. And as you know, our economy here is still heavily populated by agriculture. As the country continues to develop and jobs are created, agriculture as a means of participation of the population comes down drastically. And that's what happened in India. If you look at those numbers extrapolated to 2010, it's only 14% of the population of India that is involved now with agriculture. So it comes down quite stiffly. But guess what grows much faster? And you all know the answer. It is the yellow graph, and that is the services. So services start off at a very low level, and they increase at a very high level to about 59%. And just for comparison, and I know that there's a lot of talk in this country, right from the chief executive of the country to anybody else who dares say anything, to promote industry. If you look at industry, India is a very good example of a country that has really propagated industry. But look at the growth of industry. Industry does not grow as fast as the rest of the economies, of the economic activity. So it does grow, but not as highly as services. So as economies mature, less people are employed in agriculture and more people transit into industry, but also into services. I think that is a good conclusion. So if you turn back to our own particular country, which is on your left now, you'll notice that the transition hasn't happened fast enough in Uganda. And secondly, technology as a disruptor has only disrupted phones, right? You all know, those of you who are old enough, that they used only to be the handset of a fixed phone. But we've not been disrupted too much with regard to technology. And technology hasn't created that much opportunity for us. The result is that there is low productivity, okay? And I have seen this with my own company. I will tell you that before the lockdown, all of us were based in our offices. But 3 or 4 years ago, I remember I had a town hall where we had all our staff, and I told them that we must build capability within the next 5 years to ensure that we will no longer rely on our brick and mortar to deliver our services, but will deliver our services through cyberspace. So as soon as COVID hit, we were the first company, I can tell you, in government that was completely able to offer 100% of our services offline. Today, only 30%, thank you, only 30% of our staff need to come to our offices because they are customer facing. The rest work from home, even up to today, and we will not change that policy. So in fact, we are thinking about giving up our physical space so that people can work from home, and then we improve that. The money would have paid for our rent, we give them better salaries and better productivity. And guess what? The numbers of productivity have increased. Absolutely increased. We have the numbers to show for it. A lot better. So we believe that if we were able to use technology, we'd be able to improve productivity, would need no incentive to allow people to make more money so that when they retire, they have a very good pension. So, what is it I'm selling to you today? Let's go to the next one. So, in the future, is the future of work very bright or is the bright very future? For Uganda and much of Africa, the path to developing more secure and productive workers is to be less reliant on the trodden path of the West and the East, but more focusing on something I will call non-consumption. Please pay attention to that word. You haven't finished, okay. I'm going to define it, non-consumption. So for those of you who are businessmen in this room and those listening online, pay attention to that word, non-consumption. What is non-consumption? Non-consumption, and this is a quote from a Nigerian, for the entrepreneur present, non-consumption is your fiercest competition today and it is winning. So what is non-consumption? Non-consumption is the inability of persons and or organization to purchase and use or consume a product or service that requires to fulfill an important job to be done. All right, a mouthful, but in a nutshell, the next opportunity you're looking for is just around the corner. And it is a lot to do with non-consumption. So let's go back to where we started. You remember that graph? That graph was the growth of the mobile phone usage in this country. The important job that the mobile phone sorted out, the job to be done was communication. But later, we expanded that role to include sending and receiving money, and we focused on the job to be done. Millions of Ugandans who previously didn't have access to the telephones got connected, and job opportunities were created at a huge scale. So this is something that was started, and we were looking at, and we were looking at an opportunity. So where are those opportunities that I would like to share with you today? And as I said, they're all around you. Just run the whole slide. If you want to accelerate the rate of progress in Uganda, we need to find out where non-consumption is and place more emphasis on it. I have given you a few examples there. Health services. There's so much to be done. As a human being, we will always require health services because we want to be alive. Even during COVID, you were caring about your health. Technology refrigeration, another big opportunity. There's a lot of things you can do around there. Mobility, transport, okay? Border borders have been banned. What else can we do? Bicycles, I don't know what it is. What is it that you can do? These are just examples of non-consumption opportunities that are available. And I'd just like to share with you a very interesting story of a company that happened in India. There used to be a company, or still is a company, called Goodrich. It was a banking institution, and it had a familiar product for banks, which is a safe. Every time you run a bank, you need a safe to keep the money in. The job to be done with that particular company, they were making safes to keep money going. Suddenly, in the year 2007, the company launched a small box that looks like a safe, and they called it Kuchkul. I'm not too sure about the pronunciation, but the translation is it's a little cool in the Indian language. And at the time, they realized that 80% of Indians did not have refrigeration services. These guys were building safes, they were selling safes, they were okay. But somehow one of them decided, look, we do safes of the similar size. Can we look at this new opportunity? So this business line was born, and it became a big non-consumption market. And what was the job to be done? Let's roll it over. So they concluded, when they assessed the job, they found that people needed to store small amounts of food, operating off the grid, in other words, not near electricity, but easy to service. The result was they created this little cooler box, and I'm sure you've seen the cooler boxes, but not of this type, which opens from the top, has limit cooling air, uses thermoelectric conductors. In other words, there is no compressor to make the technology very complicated if you are into this sort of engineering. All the components were in the lid, in other words, just like the safe, and therefore very easy to transport and to service. So what was born was this little gadget, which was now, there's another slide, yes, which is more familiar compressor based on cooling more effectively large areas. And now you can see that there was no noise being made, because you know when you have a fridge it makes a lot of noise. So this was not even making very noisy, and it was very easy to move. So, and they thought about how do we distribute it? Because they had been working with banks, they decided we'll use the Indian Post Bank, which had branches in every rural area. So from a very, very, very unlikely source, almost aligned to your business, these people were able to crack the market and come up with something that has blown the Indian market away. So why have I gone through this elaborate way of sharing with you all this? Because I believe that as entrepreneurs, your job is to create and improve job security while at the same time innovating. And innovate, think about non-consumption. So let's look at the 4 areas where opportunities might arise, especially on products and services that you might be able to use. First, look at a very complicated, over-engineered process. And I give my own example as an NSSF. We run a very, very complex business, but basically we get money and we save it for a long time, we invest it, and we give it back to you when you're a little bit older. But it's so complicated. There are a lot of financial algorithms you need to use, a lot of financial products, a lot of models you need to use to make sure that there's sufficient money for when your members retire and that it's not eroded by inflation, because that's the biggest factor. But it's very, very complicated. We hire very, very qualified people, CFAs who are really smart, who know a lot how to use all the, your spreadsheets, build models, and then show us how we're going to reward you over the long term. But think about insurance. Insurance almost plays a similar part about what we do. So can you think of something that can actually short circuit us and provide a product to our members so that in the meantime they can get a product while they're still waiting for their pension? So I will share with you a secret. Every morning I tell my staff that there is one thing that keeps me awake every single night. And initially I asked them, what do you think it is? So people told me, oh, maybe it's the money, maybe it's my job, maybe it's my staff, maybe it's the minister, maybe it's the president. I said, no, the one thing that keeps me awake, and I'm sure it should be what keeps all of you awake, is some kid sitting in their garage and coming out with an electronic app that is totally going to disseminate what we have done at NSSF and totally replace us. And I can tell you, every single one of your businesses, every single one of your work that you do, that should be the thing you should be worried about. Look at the day Amazon was started. Postal services were there, working, sitting pretty. A lot of the postal services were protected by laws. They are government companies. What happened? What happened? Amazon came and totally dislodged them. Today, some of the post office systems have remained in business because Amazon gives them business. However, if they didn't subcontract them, post offices would be out of business. And you know the whole story around all the other inventions that have come up and disrupted the whole world. The second area is about emotion. You need to look at something that strongly invokes emotion. What is it that people are passionate about? What is it that consumers are passionate about? This is one of the things I always tell people. As a business, you should be aware of what is it that invokes emotion in your customers. The example I've given there is M-Pesa. They totally disrupted banking services. If you look at the banks in Kenya and even in Uganda, they've had to revise their business model on how to make money. Because you no longer need to transfer little sums of money using them, because something else can do it a lot better. That disruption is not going to end. So you need to establish what is it that invokes, what is it that, look at Western Union, look at MoneyGram, right? They use that invoking of the emotion of the customer, the small amounts of money that change lives, that change you from the position you are, and when you receive that money and what you can do with that money. So what is it that invokes that strong emotion? Look at it and see how can you use it to disrupt a bigger company that's already available. Change of behavior. How is it that you can change behavior? Today I tell people, because of COVID and the border, what is it that's going to happen once the lockdown is border going to come back and be as strong as they used to be? Today I know that a lot of people are now walking. They used to take a border. They used to take a taxi. The taxi is very expensive now. People might continue to walk. People might begin to cycle. People will change their behavior because of circumstances. And that is a big opportunity for us. If you're looking for a way, how is it you can change behavior of a product, of people, so that you can sell your product and become better? The last one I would like to emphasize is abundance of resources. There are always resources that are available. The example I've given in there are the kiosks. I think Ugandans have been very, very, very innovative in that respect. That every single where you live, you will find a kiosk where at least you can buy airtime, you can buy a Coke, or you can buy a Big G, for that matter. But what are the other areas where you can use abundant resources and come up with a solution from your neighborhood? Think about it and see how you can disrupt. So what are the takeaways that I would like to leave you with my few concluding remarks? I think I've talked a little bit about them, but I'll quickly summarize them. The first one is that Africa, our road we are creating, many of those secure jobs will not come through the conventional way. We shouldn't look to Europe, we shouldn't look to Asia. We need to work out our own solutions. We have our own emotions, we have our own ways of doing things, we have our ways of looking at things. Let's try and see how can we think about them. One of the biggest things I drive in my organization is about innovation. I always assume that you have a clean page. So don't think about anything else you have. What is it that you can do to change the way you're doing whatever you're doing? Technology. Let's not give up on it. Technology will continue to disrupt us. Even as we speak today, Africa remains fairly insulated from these disruptions that are coming up. But let's use that technology to disrupt ourselves and create those opportunities that we must for our own people. The non-consumption. I've used it all throughout this presentation. I would like to end with it as well. Non-consumption is true because most of Africa is low on demand for products, and these are common places in all the places that we are. Technology can be used to create mass delivery, especially with regard to labor, so that we reduce our unit of cost of production. As I've told you, we are using technology in my own company to bring down our cost of production. We are giving up our branches. Our branches used to cost us so much money, And we think that we can increase the return on our members just by changing the way we deliver. Opportunity. If entrepreneurs make these products and services affordable and accessible to the majority of the people, we will create those jobs. And as I say, telecom was a very good example. But it would be nothing like my own presentation if I didn't talk about social security, because I believe that's where the major opportunity lies, even for ourselves. And we are working on things that we'll be introducing to the market, especially when the new law comes into place. Thank you so much for paying attention to my presentation today, and I wish you all the best, and congratulations to everybody who's been installed today. I normally end my presentation with the Rotary meetings I'm invited to. I get invited to very many by making a donation of 10 million shillings to the Rotary Club, and 10 million shillings, and 15 million shillings to the Rotary Club. For a good cause. And I'd like to tell you that already at our organization, I think we were the first company to introduce what we call a company health advisor. So that company health advisor, you talked about health, assesses every single one of our employees and actually comes up with a plan on how they're going to improve. So they take their bios, right, their blood pressure and all those things, their you call it the index, and then they work on a plan. All our members of staff have a subscription to a gym, and it is mandatory for them to go to the gym and utilize it, because if they don't utilize it, we will withdraw it. So they are under pressure to do that. And we monitor them because we believe that their health is our business. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, our guest of honor, for that very eloquent and educational presentation. Personally, my colleague Rotarian Bernard Mukasa and I were a bit confused about the non-consumption until you broke it down. And I think as young people, we need to increase our bank balance, Bernard. We need to stop sending each other messages that we are broke. So let us hope that all these things can come to light in the post-COVID era, and we can improve our economy and the future of this country. I am going to invite our Rotarian, the Assistant Governor-elect, Rotarian Sophie, who is going to give us a vote of thanks, after which I will invite the President of the Rotary Club of Kololo, who has a small token of appreciation to our guest of honor. And thereafter, we shall move to the final toast and cutting of the cake, and then I'll invite you all for lunch. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Our chief guest and our guest of honor, all protocol observed. Good afternoon again. Fellow Rotarians, Rotaractors, and distinguished guests, as we end the function of the installation of the Rotary Club of Kololo Kampala's 33rd President, Rotarian Christine Nalwada Luutu, on behalf of all the members, I'm delighted to give this vote of thanks. My very special thanks go to the guest of honor, Mr. Richard Byarugaba, and to the chief guest, DGE Rosette Nabumba Nayenga. Together, you have inspired us, encouraged us, and challenged us. For that, we appreciate. Specifically, it is with great joy that I am extending my sincere thanks to the chief guest, DGE Rosette Nabumba Nayenga, who has installed the incoming president and re-emphasized working together as and for the lasting change. Similarly, with boundless pleasure, I want to thank the guest of honor, Mr. Richard Byarugaba, who has presented, "Can we grow Uganda's job market?" Through some case studies, you have informed us using facts and figures, challenged us to change behavior to become better. You have asked us to pay attention to non-consumption and that opportunities are around the corner. You have challenged us and stirred in us reasons to think beyond our today. You have opened our eyes to abundant resources and opportunities. Thanks for the takeaways, and above all, thanks for the contribution of 10 million and 15 million to Rotaract and the Rotary Club. Can we give him a loud hand clap? In addition, I'd like to thank and congratulate Rotarian Bonin Sambu for a successful handover to Rotarian Christine. My wholehearted thanks go to the Rotarians of the Rotary Club of Kololo, Kampala, and the installation committee who have pulled it off and made this installation memorable and colorful. I have to specifically mention the committee chair, Rotarian Bernard Mukasa. Can we also give him a loud hand clap? My sincere thanks to Mr. AG. I get tempted to say PAG. Herbert Mhumza, outgoing Assistant Governor, for the support to the club for the year 2019-2020. My sincere thanks also go to the 32 past presidents of this club, as well as the AGs and DGs who have worked with the club and guided the club to excel. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together for President Bonin Sambu and his board for serving successfully and for handing to us a breathing club for the year 2020-2019. Special thanks go to a special person amongst us today, and that's Dr. Israel Luutu, for the support you have given Christine in the past, and we look forward to continued support as she serves this club. Finally, thanks to President-elect Christine and to your board, and for accepting to take leadership of this club for the year 2020-2021. And I'm quite sure that, and I believe that we shall also hand over a breathing club. God's blessings to you all as we look forward to embracing opportunities 2020-2021. All in all, Holgen Mark says, we will capture this moment to grow Rotary, making it stronger, more adaptable, and even more aligned with core values. I wish you the best as we open opportunities. Thank you.
Thank you, AG. Incoming, I'll now invite the President of the Rotary Club of Kololo.
Thank you, Mr. Ceremony. Before I ask our chief guest to hand over our appreciation to the guest of honor, allow me to at least hand over three. I have so many to appreciate, but these three, I think we have to do. One of them is A.G. Herbert. Chief guest, please help me to do this. A.G. Herbert is here.
A.G. Herbert, the Rotary Club of Kololo, Kampala, is giving you this award of special recognition for the contribution you've made to this club. You have laid a foundation from which others will spring. Thank you so much for being supportive of this club.
This one is to Rotary Club of Kololo.
He's complaining that there's no hug.
No hug.
So, she's Shalom.
Shalom is fine.
Rotaract Shalom and Rotaract Francesca. Very beautiful names. It's a pleasure to present to you this award from Rotary Club of Kololo, Kampala. They thank you so much for the outstanding contribution towards a successful year 2019-20, and they pray that you continue to do the same even in the coming year. Congratulations.
This one is for Rotary Jacob. You have taken all the pictures. I don't know who is going to take yours, but come and take this. Thank you for supporting us. And after that, we shall go to the guest.
Rotaract Jacob Chigundu. I can see you are still on the defending your classification. This is an award to you. The club is very grateful for the services you offer to take photography, and they have given you this award and allow me to present it to you on their behalf. Congratulations.
And Madam DJ, this is for our guest of honor. Thank you, sir, for accepting to come and appreciate it.
No problem. It's always a pleasure.
Our guest of honor, indeed you have made us proud. Thank you so much for such an inspiring presentation, for making time to be with us, and for the contribution, the generous contribution you've made. This cannot be like a return gift, but it's from the hearts of Rotary Club of Kololo, Kampala, thanking you and appreciating you for being a friend, and they welcome you to become a member. Thank you.
Thank you.
Please wait, the president. Give it to
our guest of honor, we are very, very grateful for accepting our invitation and for the wise word that you've shared with us this afternoon. Please accept, this is our club banner, and it's in the place that you feel most loved to you.
Thank you.
To always remind you of our club. And when we invite you to join us, please
accept.
Because you are already a Rotarian.
I am at heart.
Yes.
Thank you so much, President. At this point in time, I'm going to request those of us who are here to move in an organized way. You're going to move and stand in a socially distanced manner behind the high table. We are going to have a small picture taken, after which we shall I'll invite the district governor-elect, the guest of honor, and the incoming presidents and the outgoing presidents to cut cake. Then we shall be going over for lunch. So I'm going to request our guests who are here with us to please come to... No, those can... You remain seated.
They found a vaccine, so it should be okay. Not so dark. Not so dark.
I'm going to, before we cut the cake, I'm going to invite MD Nareva. Please lead us through the final toast, at which point the select guests will move on to the cake. We cut it, then we can move on to lunch. Thank you very much. To the members that have joined us on our social media platforms, thank you so much for your participation and patience. And we wish you all a very good afternoon. Thank you.
Guest of honor, chief guest, let's stand up for the final toast. For this successful installation ceremony we have concluded, I give you Rotary International.
So the president's incoming, outgoing, and chief guest and guest of honor, please. The last function here before we
They don't inspire us.
one of yours.
One of you should test.
One can touch the deck, the others.
Just reach out. Just reach out. Okay, thank you.